If you want to realize yourself, you have to relax. It's all about relaxation. See, the attention is habitually focused. This focusing is like a narrowing. It's a restricting. It's a limiting. It's a tightening. And this focusing is a way of excluding everything else. It's often referred to as concentration. Concentration is an activity of exclusion. By concentrating your attention on something, you then artificially exclude everything else. That's what concentration is. It's an exclusion of everything other than what is in focus. So this is kind of the opposite activity. This focusing, this concentrating is very habitual. It's a tendency. This is what we're used to. Years of training the attention to focus through schooling. So the approach for realization, it's as if that's the way, but it's not. It's not through concentration. It's a relaxation. It's relaxing that focus. That which you are is all-inclusive. So it's a relaxation of that focus. It's a softening of that focus. It's a widening of that focus. Now that widening, that opening, it happens by simply relaxing. And this is what feels very new or different to most, because it's so ingrained to focus on something, to concentrate on something. So let's say you join one of our guidance sessions and there's a focusing on, what is he saying? Maybe this word is going to do it for me. I'm trying to just really focus on the word. And the word is the thing. The word is the sound. The sound is the thing. And you can see this level of focus and concentration in one. It's very obvious. Just like how you see how I'm saying that this focus is a narrowing, it's a restricting, it's a tension. You see this tension actually in the face, in the body. You see that expression. I'm just trying to focus, like the eyes squint, the eyebrows are slanted, there's a leaning in. I'm just trying to focus on what's being said. And that focus takes effort, and focus is limited. You can't focus on one thing forever. There's a limit to it. You can't hold your concentration on one thing forever. There's a limit to it. It's a limited activity, focusing, concentrating. But that which is aware of focus, that which is aware of concentration, that awareness is what you are. That is limitless. Rest is limitless, but any activity is limited. So relaxation is essentially this attention returning to rest. You can't try. because trying is effort. You can't reach rest through effort. It's much like trying to fall asleep. The harder you try and fall asleep, the harder it is to fall asleep. But what happens is there's just simply a relaxing into sleep. This is much the same. There's just a simply relaxing into realization. You just simply relax to realize. So, something that's very helpful is by just noticing first the tension, by noticing that activity. You notice the tension, you notice perhaps it's the leaning in, perhaps it's the squinting, perhaps it's the tension in the face. Then you notice how you're kind of waiting. There's almost like a, when is he going to say it? When is it going to happen? You might notice this kind of like efforting to grab. I want to grab that concept. I want to grab that word. I want to try and understand. There's all of this effort. I want to figure out. Making it seem like it's some puzzle. And there's so much interest in what's being said. So much importance in what's being said. And this keeps that attention, in tension. You can't approach it that way. I mean, you can, but it's just not effective. Even coming to the meeting with that intention keeps you in tension. It keeps the attention in tension because there's some sort of desired outcome, a desired result. There's an objective, there's a goal. Relaxation is actually dropping that. It's the cessation of having a goal or an objective, having a purpose or an intention, having an outcome or a achievement. That's what's actually being relaxed. So you can simply notice at any time this tension, this focus, this concentration. And then by just simply being aware of it, it relaxes. The experience is that you're experiencing some sort of release. And the release is a lot like when you stretch a muscle, that there's a release in tension. It's this release of attention. You're releasing the attention. The attention is so focused. It's almost like as if it's fixed on something. And then you are just simply releasing it. And it just simply returns back to rest. There's a sense of, it's like relief. There's a release and there's relief. Relief from that tension. Release from that tension. But that tension is the attention being contracted, you can say. It's contracted because there's a focus, that attention, that interest, that concentration. It's this narrowing. By noticing that, there's just a relaxing. By just noticing that tension. Because that which is noticing the tension, that which is aware of the tension, is itself not tension. By just simply noticing that tension, it starts relaxing. There's a hardness to that focus. That's why you see it in someone's face. It's like very hard. It's like, what are you thinking of? It's got a very hard look to it. But by simply noticing that, it softens. There's a softness to it. Even the body language is this kind of closure. It's like leaning in and closing the eyes, closing the facial muscles. It's this closure. It's like this constriction. And then by just noticing that, there's a opening, opening. So there's this deep relaxation. And there's no interest that's being given to one thing over another. This attention is very interconnected with the interest, because you don't attend that which you are not interested in. When there's an interest in trying to get something, I'm going to attend that. Right? I'm interested in what is being given. I want to attend that. And then there's that focusing, that concentration, that exclusion of everything else. By just noticing that, there's a relaxing. It's a withdrawing of that interest. It's a withdrawing of that attention. And you experience this relaxation. Which then the experience is that the words or the content, would be sounds or sights or smells, tastes, sensations. This content is simply arising. This activity is arising, but this activity is happening in rest. There's a relaxing the attention, the interest from the activity to that which is rest. The attention simply returns to rest. And in that relaxation, when attention is just simply resting as its limitless nature, awareness, we can say that attention is actually an activity of awareness. Attention is a movement. It is you that knows, you awareness that knows the attention being focused, the attention being concentrated. It is you that's knowing the attention contracting, relaxing, closing, opening. This is a movement. This is an activity. That which is aware of it is not opening and closing, contracting, relaxing. This activity of attention is so subtle. But you are more subtle because it is you that is noticing this subtle activity of attention. When the attention is simply fully relaxed and at rest, there's a receptivity. It's wide open. That which is receptive is wide open. And this receptivity is much like this readiness. There's just this relaxation. And that which is at rest simply is aware of itself. An activity cannot realize rest. It's only rest that can realize rest. Rest simply realizes, it's I, that's rest. The awareness, it's I that's aware. This awareness is what I am. This rest is what I am. This rest is my nature. So it's this relaxation. You relax. It's the attention that's simply relaxing. When there's all of this movement and activity, it's like a distraction. It's like a busyness. So that's one way. I'll make another video of another, I wouldn't call it a technique or anything. It's just, I don't know what it is, just to share. But another way to allow that attention to relax. It's about allowance. You're not doing anything to relax. It's actually a relaxing of the doing. It's the cessation of that doing, that activity. Right? That's what the rest is. The rest is the absence of that activity. That which is aware of the activity, well, is not active. There's an absence of activity. So that's the rest. That's aware of the activity. All of this movement, closing, opening, contraction, expansion. Well, that which you are is beyond all of that. Because it's you that's aware of that activity. So I'll make another video of another effective way of allowing that attention to simply relax more. But let's leave it here for this one. Hopefully that helps. See you in the next one.